Hey, Dr. Verchek here. One thing that comes up commonly with patients with droopy upper eyelids or heavy or hooded upper eyelids is they'll tell me, I have forehead fatigue and more forehead wrinkles. I'd like to tell you a little bit about that. It happens to be a research interest of mine. My thesis during my fellowship was about the reason why people raise their eyebrows when they have droopy eyelids. It used to be thought it was all light-based, that when there's less light coming in, we raise our brows. Well, I realized that on patients of mine who had had to remove their eye for unfortunate reasons like trauma or cancer or something like that, if they had a droopy eyelid, they would also raise their eyebrow on that side. Well, it can't be light if there's no eyeball. And it turns out it's actually stretch on the upper eyelid, basically. So there's a muscle in your upper eyelid that's involved in eyelid opening that senses droopiness, and it sends a signal to your forehead muscle on the same side, and it says, hey, I'm droopy, let's raise things up as much as we can, let's fire this muscle. So people with extra weight in their upper eyelids will start to raise their eyebrows because their eyelids start to get weighed down. In fact, another research study has showed us that if you take somebody and put a little weight on their eyelid, so you weigh it down, they'll start to raise that brow. All of that to say, if we have a droopy eyelid or a hooded eyelid or a heavier eyelid, we'll start to raise our brows a little bit, which can contribute to forehead wrinkles and forehead fatigue. Headaches maybe at the end of the day, or droopy eyelids at the end of the day. What can we do about this? Well, we can lighten the load with upper blepharoplasty. So when we remove some of the extra skin from the upper eyelid or perform a ptosis repair, tighten the muscles that are involved in eyelid opening, with our eye more open and the weight lifted, we'll tend to raise our brows less. Well, that sounds like a good thing in the sense that we'll have less wrinkles and less forehead fatigue, but another way to say that is if you raise someone's eyelid, sometimes their brow will come down because you'll take away that reflex that is generating the raising of the brow. So, all of that to say it's important to think about brow position when we're performing upper eyelid surgery. That another way to say that is it might be beneficial to surgically raise someone's brow, not to make them look weird or pulled or surprised, but to put their brow where they like to hold it because of this reflex that they have, so that you don't artificially bring someone's eyebrow down when you do eyelid surgery. Not because the surgery pulls it down, but because you take away that reflex that is driving their brow to go up because they have a droopy eyelid. So sometimes it can be helpful to perform eyebrow surgery at the same time as eyelid surgery, and the reason is when we have droopy eyelids, we will raise our brows on our own. When you fix a droopy eyelid, sometimes the brow will come down, so thinking about bringing it up surgically, not a lot, just a little, just the right amount, can be helpful. Hope that helps. Let me know with questions.